Hey guys, what's up? So today we are talking about 5 things that we can't wait for when Disney World opens again. So for the people that don't know, we've been putting out a lot of vlogs, daily vlogs, but we do love Disney. So if you look on a lot of our videos from the past, you'll see a lot of trips from Disney, a lot of trips to other places like Boston, Naples, our honeymoon in Aruba, but we love Disney. So you'll definitely see a lot of Disney on our channel. On our Instagram, there's a lot of Disney. We're really just trying to bring everything that makes us happy to both our YouTube channel, our Instagram, so you probably will see a lot of Disney in the future.
Yeah, we've been pass holders we skipped 1 year, so we're on our 3rd year of being pass holders. We did not have our passes when I was pregnant, just because with all the complications, all the doctor's appointments, all the hospital visits, we wouldn't have been able to go up anyways.
Also, she wouldn't have been able to
do much of anything. Now, we've each made our list. We're gonna do 5 to 1, 1 being what we're most excited about, obviously. We have not talked about nothing with each other about what's on our list. So it's gonna be a complete surprise. We both wrote it down. I'm gonna stick with mine no matter what, and I'm gonna hope that Nick's gonna stick with his and not change if he thinks of something, like I tell him say one of mine and then he's like, oh, I really like that one, I'm gonna take it too. So our goal is really to have hopefully 10 different things that we're super excited about to do when Disney reopens.
Hopefully our lists are completely different. We may have some of the same things on them. I know there's some on my list that she may have, but not exactly sure.
I think there's maybe one that Nick might have on my list.
There's one that I'm thinking Hillary might have on her list. So.
Now I'm wondering what order it's in.
Okay. All right, so starting with...
number 5.
Do you want to go first or me?
You go first.
Okay, so my number 5 is the basket at Wine Bar George.
Ooh, that's a good one. I didn't put that on.
Ooh. So for you guys that don't know, there's a restaurant in Disney Springs called Wine Bar George. He was the sommelier that opened California Grill. Now he recently opened a restaurant when Disney Springs got their revamp, and he has a restaurant called Wine Bar George. There's a little quick service that's attached to it, and you can get these baskets from there, so you can get wine. I don't drink, but Hillary does.
Yep.
Fruit, you can get cheese, bread, and what I really want to do is you can take the basket and you can go find a grassy area somewhere and just kind of
have
enjoy.
A picnic. Yeah.
I'm thinking that if you go over towards the end of Disney Springs, kind of by the area of like Saratoga.
I was thinking about that. Even if you take the boat over to Saratoga and just find a grassy spot over there, would be a cool place for a picnic.
Yeah, because you can look at Disney Springs and see everything and all the buildings while you're just relaxing, having a picnic.
Yeah. And there's not going to be a lot of people over there. I think it would be a nice relaxing thing. This is also something that we've never done, but we've talked about doing. Everything that we're talking about, like for Wine Bar George and whatever else we talk about, if it's any restaurants or anything like that, we'll put like the links to their menus or any other information we have about them down below in the description, so that way it's a quick resource that you can just click on it and get the information. So for number 5, this is a really silly one. I am really looking forward to the Grand Fiesta tour in the Mexico Pavilion while having a nice margarita from La Cava del Tequila, which is the margarita bar within the Mexican Pavilion. This little ride is so silly, but I love it. It just makes me happy. Anytime we're in Epcot, I have to go on it. But it's a fun, easygoing boat ride. Anyone can go on it. There's no age, height, anything restriction. So all ages, no matter what, you can go on it.
So we learned this from one of our good friends, Brittany and Alex.
Yes.
First time we rode it actually was with them, but he ordered a margarita and was going to walk through the line and just finish it by the time he was able to go on.
I forgot about that.
So you can't take a drink on the ride unless you sneak it on, which isn't something that we're gonna do.
No, I'm not that sneaky. So I'm gonna edit that. We're gonna first start, I'm gonna go have a drink, have a margarita, walk around Mexico Pavilion because there's so many little things to see and do and all of that within the pavilion, and then we'll go on the ride.
Or I'm gonna edit it even more that we can get guacamole and chips while she's having her margarita. I can enjoy and the guacamole and chips as well. So, and then
I don't know if they
serve
serve those at the bar.
I think they do.
I'm not sure. Again, something we'll look at and we'll put all the information in the description.
So number 4.
Dun dun dun!
This one, closing down a park. So for everybody that doesn't know.
This is like one of Nick's favorite things to do.
Yes. So all of the theme parks, once the closing time is, they don't start walking around with cast members saying time to leave, time to leave, time to leave. The only real big rule is that you can't walk
backwards into the park.
Yes. You can just kind of do your thing. You can take your time. You know, there's so many people. Typically it takes about an hour, hour and a half for some of the last rides. You know, if you're looking at like Flight of Passage or something like that.
Or even like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
So usually it takes a long time for the parks to empty out. But while it is emptying out, usually there isn't anybody in the walkways, anything like that. So you can take your camera, you can get some really amazing photos. I usually take my tripod, I'll set up, I'll do long exposures so that I can get some really amazing photos at night that just look completely different than you normally would see during the day. And it's really just, actually that's one of the things that got me really excited about photography, was photographing Disney World.
My number 4 is Kilimanjaro Safari at Animal Kingdom. I love every time we go on that ride, the animals obviously, because they free roam within their areas, you're always seeing something new. The guides always have new information, you're learning so much, and it's just a really cool way to see these animals in their natural-ish habitat, as well as what Disney's Animal Kingdom is doing to help these animals, repopulate the animals, and really just the conservation side too is really cool.
Definitely not on my list, but she just reminded me, it's really good to see a company like Disney really work on, you know, the conservation, because at the time that we're making this video, there was this huge documentary, Tiger King. So it's really good to see a lot of a company like Disney that really focuses on taking care of the animals when there's obviously so many people trying to exploit them to, you know, make money.
Yeah, that's a big thing too. All right, number 3. Nick, let's hear what your number 3 is.
Number 3. Now this one I think is the one that Hillary has on her list, and it is watching Happily Ever After.
That's part of one of mine.
Okay, maybe the other part is in one of my honorable mentions. When we first got annual passes, maybe a month or 2 months into our going to Disney World.
At that point, we were only dating like 2.5, 3 months when we got annual passes together.
Yeah, so they just changed the fireworks show from Wishes to Happily Ever After.
Didn't we see the last Wishes?
So we were there for the last Wishes, and then I think we were actually there for the very first Happily Ever After as well. We've seen Happily Ever After so many times. And when I proposed to her at Polynesian, directly behind the bungalows, and I was able to record it. so that she thought she was taking a photo, but really I was walking up behind her and I was getting down on my knee and proposing to her.
Yep.
That is one of the reasons why it is so important to us, and we love it because we just have so many, you know, fond memories of us growing together.
Yeah, I mean, it's been from really the beginning of our relationship to getting engaged, to seeing the show the week after we got married, to...
It was actually our processional and our recessional at our wedding as well. Definitely means a lot to us.
Yeah.
So anything else you want to say about that?
No, because we're gonna hit it again at another point.
Okay.
My number 3 is breakfast at Ohana.
Okay.
I have been dreaming about the breakfast, the view, the pog juice, the entertainment, all of it for probably like months. Like before Disney even closed down, I've been dreaming about going back.
Breakfast at the Polynesian restaurant, all 3 of them are some of our favorite restaurants actually. I like that it's the family style instead of the buffet. I do like the buffets. I really do enjoy the all you care to eat even better because, you know, right now we're not going to the park with kids or with a large group of people. But if you are going to a buffet with a lot of people, it tends to just get so much more chaotic there. They just bring out everything to you. If you want more, you ask for more.
They'll happily bring anything else that you want out to you. And it's, for me, I like it. To me, you can do it kind of with a bigger group because you're sitting together, so you're having such family time, and not everyone's getting up and running around and carrying plates for each other and all of that. It's just you're all together and you get to enjoy the meal fully together.
Yeah.
Also the entertainment with the kids running around and stuff like that. It's just so happy. I love watching the other people like see the joy in their faces, and especially the people that have never, it's their first time at Disney, and just seeing that Disney magic through their eyes. It's really cool. It's something you really can't describe unless you see it. Number 2.
Number 2.
Dun dun dun.
I will admit, I am 100% cheating on this one. I know it, and I will admit it. So what my number 2 is riding all the new attractions that are coming. At the time that we're making this video, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway just came out.
Yeah.
Right before that, there was Star Wars Land that was open with Rise of the Resistance.
We have gone on both of the Star Wars rides.
Both really fun. Rise of the Resistance, I think, by far the best ride at all of Walt Disney World. Probably best ride we've been on. Flight of Passage is just underneath it. Then there's a few rides that are potentially coming out, depending on what happens with the construction right now. Ratatouille ride is...
I'm sorry.
The Ratatouille is supposed to come out next month. Don't think that's happening.
No. I'm super excited for that one too.
And then the other 2 really big attractions that there's construction on right now is Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster, which is like one of a kind, like brand new type of ride. They're gonna have a backwards launch. It's gonna be a storytelling one. It's still supposed to be kids friendly, so Hillary doesn't need to get too nervous when riding it. And then also the Tron Light Cycle. So there's 3 new attractions that are currently
in construction
right now that are before everything happened. They were supposed to come out before the 50th anniversary. Still hoping they do come out before then, and really excited to ride all the rides that just came out and the ones that are going to be coming out in the very near future.
All right, so my number 2 is to go back on the People Mover.
Oh, wow.
To me, it's a classic ride, and it's literally just like, it's perfect. I love it so much. It's probably one of my favorite rides in all of Disney, between all of the parks. And I don't know, I just love it. That's all I can say.
I definitely agree. That is, when I think of Walt Disney World and I think of what Walt originally wanted the park to be. I think the People Mover, it's definitely represents all of that.
Yeah.
You get to see the model of the original Epcot, not the Epcot theme park, Epcot, the experimental prototype community of tomorrow, the area that he really wanted this to become and we never got.
Yeah, I mean, it's also really cool on especially on a hot day or you just need a break, to just go up there, just get on the ride, you sit, relax, you get to see parts of Magic Kingdom just from a different perspective because you are up higher. So it's really cool and it makes me so happy.
So before number one, we're gonna go through some of our honorable mentions that didn't quite make it onto this list, but that we wanted to mention. So one of the honorable mentions for me, we kind of talked about a little bit, is going to the Polynesian.
Yeah.
And just walking around, seeing where I proposed. I mean, going to Ohana would be great. Even going to breakfast at Kona or going to breakfast at Captain Cook's where they have Tonga toast. Ooh, the Tonga toast is delicious. Now, my last honorable mention is just walking down Main Street.
I didn't write that down, but that's definitely one for me too.
Yeah, there's just something special. I love how you see the castle from far away before you get to Magic Kingdom. As soon as you walk underneath the train station,
yeah,
you can't see it, and then you just make that turn right around the corner, and then you just see the castle. And there's just something special about just walking down, seeing that, hearing the music, seeing all the street performers, and seeing all the cars that are going around. There's just something special about it.
Yeah. One of my honorable mentions is Pandora at night. Just walking around is just beautiful. It's just very magical and special. It's very different from Main Street, obviously, but it's a really cool land at night. All right, are we ready for our number ones?
Number one. Okay, so for mine, I don't know why I'm grabbing my phone like I need to read it. My number one is going back to Port Orleans Riverside for a stay.
Oh.
And
that's funny you're saying it right now because this is about when we did it 2 years ago.
Yes. So a couple years ago, almost 2 years ago exactly, she took me to Port Orleans Riverside. It was our first time where we stayed more than just a night on property, and we stayed the entire weekend. We did 2 nights there, which when we go up, we really like to stay at least 2 nights, because if you stay at a hotel for 1 night, you check in, you're getting back from the park, you go, you sleep, then you wake up and you check out. So really the only times that you get to enjoy the hotel for us is when you're sleeping. When you stay there for more than 1 night, you have the opportunity of coming back during the middle of the day. You can go to the pool, you can go walk around the property. But she took me there 2 years ago, and we were really we enjoyed the pool.
We got to enjoy the whole grounds and the property.
We went over to French Quarters, we walked there. There's actually a playlist that will link.
Yeah.
Just click on the I in this video, and the entire playlist will be there. It was actually the very first trip that we vlogged the entire thing.
I will admit, I was definitely very awkward on camera.
Yeah, I think we both were.
Probably.
The videos definitely, we just used a GoPro, so we didn't have a DSLR or a mirrorless camera that had a external mic, so the video quality wasn't there. And we didn't really know what we were doing, and it was really just for us to do for ourselves.
We had so much fun with it though.
Yeah, I think because of how much fun we had doing that, and how much fun I had, editing them and us watching them again, and
that kind of was the start of this channel.
Yeah, but we also took the boat from Riverside to Disney Springs, and it's maybe a 15-minute boat ride.
It was so nice.
Yeah, we did it at sunset, so it really looked amazing. It was just such an enjoyable trip that we've had the opportunity to stay at Bay Lake, and we've stayed at some of the other hotels, and it would be great to stay at, you know, some of the deluxe resorts for our first time back to Disney.
Sometimes you just want to go back to the beginning of you, I guess.
Yeah.
Like that was definitely a pivotal moment in our relationship because we were celebrating a milestone in Nick's life and we were engaged, and it was kind of the first thing I was ever able to really do for him.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of the beginning.
Yeah.
The beginning.
The sentimental value to that.
To that trip.
Yeah, and that resort has for us definitely is a lot. So that's the reason why I think the next time we go back, that is where we're gonna stay.
Even if we stayed at the French side too, or the French Quarter would be really cool because we didn't get to stay on that side.
Yeah.
But somewhere at one of those two resorts.
There might be only one problem with if we stay at the French Quarters.
Why?
That's where the beignets are, so we'll just have way too many beignets.
And they have the boozy beignets, which I'm so excited to try.
Okay, so you're number one.
So my number one is Casey's Corner hot dogs at the Hub before Happily Ever After.
Okay.
When we can go sit at the Hub, sit in the grass, stake out a little spot, hang out, relax, you know, see all these kids playing and running around, and then have our hot dogs and the fireworks show there. It's a really cool experience. It brings me back to, I think I must have been 5 when we went as a family with my parents and my brother. We went in August and we actually sat on the cement next to the Hub, and we all got burnt from how hot the cement was. So now I want to sit on the grass.
Yeah, a couple years ago they just completely redid the Hub area, giving us that grassy area. So it really is nice. I know a lot of people were a little upset when they were doing the construction. A lot of people, it's still the Hub area. It's so crisscrossy and kind of hard to navigate when Happily Ever After gets out, or at the end of a parade or something like that. But you know, you take the good, you take the bad, and I definitely say that, you know, having those grassy areas is definitely a really big plus.
Yeah.
Also, we did a fireworks dessert party at one of those grassy areas.
We did.
We did it
for one of the very merry parties. Nick's aunt and uncle, the weekend after our wedding, we stayed at Bay Lake Towers with them. They took us to Very Merry and we got to do the dessert party, and it was such a cool experience. Those videos are on our YouTube as well, so we'll also add those into the description. They're fun videos. I think that was kind of the change where we went from being hustle and bustle Disney people to slow it down, relax, just enjoy the moments.
Yeah.
So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have questions or you need suggestions, you can always put them in the comments. We'll definitely answer them, or you can reach out to us on Instagram. All right, guys.
Thanks for watching.
We'll see you real soon.
Bye.